Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new LP that I'm doing. I'm Llandros, and for those of you who are brand new to my channel, welcome, and for those of you who've been here before and have been watching some of my other series, I am glad you're back and joining me on another LP. Okay, we're in the town of Moonlight Falls, and the challenge that I'm going to be doing in this one is the Asylum Challenge. If you're unaware of what the Asylum Challenge is, I don't really know who created it, but I do know that it originated with, I believe, The Sims 2. And it's been reposted with the rules that have been modified for the most part for The Sims 3. And I'm going to put in the description link underneath all the different links that I went to show, just kind of get the idea of all the rules for the challenge, because there are quite a few restrictions we're going to have to follow on this challenge, which is going to make it fun and it's going to keep it something we have to work towards. Anyway, the object of this challenge is that you're being locked into this asylum and you're going to be stuck there with 7 other people. And you have to work your way towards your lifetime goal so that you can get out of the asylum as quickly as possible. And you're going to try to keep all these other people alive, but the only catch is you can't control any of them. I can only control one sim, and that would be, of course, my sim. So it'll be fun. They all have to have some interesting traits, and so there's some things there that are going to actually make it a little bit more of a challenge. Now, I chose Moonlight Falls because the place that I'm going to put them in, I think it's going to look perfect here in this town, and so that's why I chose this town. We're not really going to be interacting with the town that much, so it didn't really matter to me what town we used. But Moonlight Falls is I could almost say with certainty it's my favorite, but I like it so much I just figured I'll go ahead and do it here. Okay, in order to get started, what I need to do is pick a lot, and we're going to go over here into Edit Town real quick. And the lot I want, you can use any size you want. You have no restrictions. You can use a smaller lot and build a small asylum, or you can choose a big lot and build a huge asylum. I'm actually going to go for this lot right here, which is a 64 by 64 lot. Don't really know why I'm choosing it, just for the fact that I wanted it to be out of the way. It's not really in the downtown area. It's kind of off across the river away from everything else. So that's the lot we're going to choose. And the nice thing about this challenge is in the very beginning, there are no money restrictions. You can spend as much money as you want, build the asylum any way you want to do it. There are restrictions, of course, as to what can go in it, but you can spend as much money as you want getting it ready in the beginning. So you can use the motherload cheat, you can use any kind of money cheat you want and get all the money, get everything you need perfect. But you got to be careful, because once you do it and once you start the game, you're done, and that money's going to get taken away from you. So I'm going to go off screen right now. I'm going to go ahead and get the asylum ready, and I'll bring you back and show you what I've done for the asylum. Then we'll go ahead and get our sims created and get ready, and we're going to get into the game. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright, well, here is the actual asylum that we're using, and some of you may recognize this place as a venue that you can get from the Sims 3 store. This is actually the Gothic library, which comes from the Sims 3 store. It's a community lot, but what I've done is I've actually converted it into a residential lot that we're going to use for our purposes. And the reason I did is because I thought it really fit the theme of this town pretty well, and it also just kind of reminded me of an old spooky, creepy asylum. So I figured that would be perfect, and all these different changes I've had to do, I'll explain those a little bit later. But I'm going to go ahead. There's a couple of changes I want to make before we actually get started, and that's why I'm right here. I just put the lot back down because I actually had moved it from one place to another, but I'm ready to go with it here. I just want to make a couple of changes, and then I'll kind of give you a tour of the house, and then we'll get our sims created. Alright, well, here we go. Now, the only thing I really did is I moved the mailbox, and I moved the trash can outside, but I also put in this security gate right here. So there's an access gate for them. The reason is all the inmates here are locked in, so I don't want them running off and out of the area. And so we've got them locked in here. We're just going to make sure we turn it on and tell it that it's locked in for everybody. Okay. I did have to extend this to meet the needs of the lot, and I put this little barrier thing here, the barrier fence, or the barrier wall, I should say. One of the things I had to do was I had to enclose this pond, because a pond can be used either for fishing or for swimming, and it would have been against one of the strikes that I have as far as my skill activities that I'm allowed. So in order to get around that, I just went ahead, instead of taking this pond out, I just put the fence around it. That way nobody has access to it and they can't use it. But you'll see the only other access point to this to the asylum is this little gated area right here, and nobody can get past that. They can't get out. So also over here, it's the same thing. There's only one other entrance, and it's this one right here. So my sims won't be able to get out of this house unless I tell them they can. Only one is actually allowed to be out, and that would be our sim. Back here in the back, there's a little courtyard area, and it's also got a pond as well, and I didn't want that to actually have to get taken out. So I went ahead and, let me pull it back up. I did the same thing here. I just went ahead and put the fence around it. That way I could continue to use it. I did place the statues there. They don't actually come with it, but I figured it'd be kind of fun. Now, what makes my asylum the Haunted Asylum Challenge is that I've got a bunch of urns and remains right here. So we're going to have a lot of ghosts in our asylum. And so that's what turns it into a haunted asylum versus a regular one. Okay, going back over here to the first floor, I'll show you what we've got here going on. I took everything out. There's a limit on how many seats you can have. All total, you can have 6 chairs or 6 combination of sofa, chairs, lounges, whatever it is, only for 6 people. So that includes your dining room table, your computer desk, whatever you're using. So I had to be very careful and keep counting them. So over here, I do have, oh, I got some food here. All right. I tested it out. I wanted to make sure it was all working. I don't think I can get rid of it, so I'll have to have them come in and clean it up. Anyway, I just wanted to test to make sure they could get to everything before I started the game. Okay, but anyway, I've got the 2 chairs here where they can sit down to eat. I also have 1 chair over here for the chess table. I do have a sofa right here. It's actually just a love seat, so it seats 2. And then I do have 1 more chair, and that is going to be upstairs. That chair is up here by our computer, which is right over here. And that'll take care of my 6. So I wanted to make sure I had that. And of course I've got the painting here. I need to go and get that taken care of too. So the few things I need to go in and change real quick. Anyway, a couple of other things you can have. You can have no more than 5 skill building activities or items. I chose the treadmill as 1. I chose the chess table as another, and I'm kind of debating on this other one that I have. I may go in and fix that because I don't know. Then again, I may change the chess table. I haven't decided yet. Still kind of going back and forth. The stove does not count against you as a skill gaining activity, even though it does teach you, or it does allow you to learn the cooking skill. And the bookcases don't count against you. But those are 2 of them. And then upstairs, I do have a few more. One is, of course, the easel, which, you know what? Let me see if I can go in here and just delete the whole thing. I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, I can. That way I don't have to go in here and change it. I want to go ahead and change that back out and get them a new easel. Let's see. And then we'll have that taken care of. I don't have to worry about them coming in and being messed up with that. Okay, I think it was, which one did I like? I chose one. Was this the one? Nope, that's fine. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Other than that, the other skill building activities I've got over here. Let's see, let me just roll back down. I gave them the chemistry station here, which came with generations, and I figured this is something that my sim might want to do, so he could not only learn the logic skill, but he could also learn a few of those potions that would maybe make him have a point where he wouldn't have to sleep as much. And then this one down here in the basement, I did give them, it's hard to get into this basement, I did give them a alchemy station. I'm not quite sure I want to keep that alchemy station though. I'm thinking I might change that out and go with something different, because they're not going to be able to go do a whole lot as far as selling the elixirs. So I'm thinking I'm going to change that out for probably the sculpting station. So in fact, do I want to do it now? Sure I do. Alright, let's just go ahead and do it now. Okay, oh, I was right where I needed to be. Okay, let's go ahead and put the sculpting station in. Yeah, I would love to have the alchemy station. It's one of my favorite things, but nobody's really playing as a witch or a warlock or a witch or a vampire or anything like that. Now, why is it not showing up? Alright, well, it should be there, but apparently it's not. Let me go back up and come back down. Yep, there it is. Alright, so it's in there. Okay, let's go ahead and go back up. That should take care of. That is my 6. So I've got the chess, I got the treadmill, I have the art easel. Wait a minute, that's only 5. What am I? Chess, art easel. I have the treadmill. I have the sculpting bench, and I have. Oh, you only have 5. That's right. I was thinking you have 6. Okay, and then you have the chemistry station. Okay, I'm going to change out this table as well while I'm here, just because I figure. Nope, not you. You can actually go over here. Oh, I can't change it. Can't delete it right now. Alright, well, I'll have to just actually let them fix that. They can take care of that on their own. Alright, so anyway, there's also a restriction on your beds. Now, it doesn't matter how many bookcases and whatnot you have. You can have as many bookcases as you want, but those don't count against you on the skills. But you do have a limit on a few other things. um, we've got a limit on beds. We can have 5 of them. And so what I did is up here on the very top floor, and this is actually part of the way the entire venue looks anyway, I gave them these 3 rooms up here, and I gave them these 3 single beds. Now you didn't have to go with single beds. You could go with any combination of double beds or single beds, but it can only be room for 5 people to sleep. So since they're all going to be strangers, I figured let's just go with single beds. We don't have to worry about it. 3 people are going to be out of luck trying to find a place to sleep at night. So that's too bad. This is the area I had to actually fix. This was a big sitting area and big open area for more of the reading area. But I went ahead and I changed it, created 2 rooms, and I can roll these walls up so you can kind of get an idea of how it looks. They've got the little cages right here. I just figured it was kind of funny. That's the way they did upstairs, so I just continued with the theme for every room. This one's kind of nice because it's got the fireplace, but then again, it's kind of scary too. If it catches fire, you're stuck. So you'll be in there. Anyway, there's another restriction, and that means 1 bathroom and 1 bathroom only, and this is the one we've chosen. You have a choice. You can either do a shower, or you can do a tub, or you can do the shower tub combo, and I figured let's just do the combo and call it good. Now there's something that was not really clear in the rules, and that was the sink. It said only 1 sink, and it didn't say that the sink in the bathroom and the sink in the kitchen had to be shared. I think it did, so I'm going to have to get rid of this right here, even though I hate to, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that sink. That way I know that I'm actually following the rules that were stated in the challenge, because I don't want to actually go against it. Okay, the computer does not count as your skill building activity, although you can use it for writing. However, if you get the computer, you cannot get the TV. And the only TV you could get anyway is the cheapest TV, and you can never upgrade. So that cheap TV is not going to do anything except maybe give them a chance to work on their athletics. And that's fine, because my guy is probably going to have to use that. But I figured the computer would give us a better chance to actually write and make some money. So that was my thought. Plus it'll help on fun. Okay, everything else over here, I believe I've gone through and I've shown you everything here in the house. There's nothing else we can really do. You have to get 1 stove and 1 refrigerator. It didn't say that the refrigerator had to be the very cheapest, but I think it does. But I know the stove has to be the cheapest, which I went ahead and got the cheapest of both. And then of course there's no fire alarm. You're not allowed to put one in, and you can't put a burglar alarm in either. So you're kind of at the mercy of whoever comes to get whatever you're going to get. Also, the fact that this asylum is going to be pretty expensive, we're not going to have enough money to pay the bills, so you know we're going to get a visit or 2 from the repo man. It's going to happen, and if that happens, we are allowed to replace anything that the repo man takes or anything that is broken or damaged by fire, but we have to pay for it. So we can replace it, but we can never add any kind of skill activities or entertainment activities. We can't add anything else to the house, so this is basically it. Once we get started in the game, the only thing you can add is decorative items, which I thought was pretty funny, and I think it's going to make the challenge pretty interesting to do. Okay, let me go ahead and finish up. I'm going to roll this back up so you guys can get an idea. This is what we're looking at, and of course to see it at night, which is what I really liked. It's got the whole little blue light thing. That's part of what they had in the original version of it, so I went ahead and just kept that theme as well. So anyway, this is our asylum, and I'm going to get our Sims ready and get them ready to move on in. Be back in just a second. Okay, well, I've got my entire group of Sims here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you each and every one of them, and I'll do this as quickly as I can, of course. I don't really even know their names, because what I did is I just let the system randomly generate. I didn't do anything as far as clothing. I have no idea what they're wearing besides what we see right here. So it'll all be a surprise once we get into the game. Now, our first Sim, let me just go ahead and look at their basics. This is Brianna Egan, and Brianna, they're all going to be human. I didn't want any supernaturals. Brianna has the traits absent-minded, dramatic, evil, hates the outdoors, and insane. Now you have to have absent-minded, hates the outdoors, and insane. Although I really could have gotten rid of hates the outdoors because they're not going to be going anywhere. They're going to be locked in. So I thought about changing that. And should I do it? Yeah, let's go ahead and change it. No, we're going to keep it just like the game says. So that's what the rules are. We'll keep it. It doesn't matter what their lifetime wish is, so we're just going to leave it as Emperor of Evil. I think most of them are going to be that way anyway. All right, so we'll just leave it that way. We'll look up the next one. And the next one, this is, I believe her name was, Maxine McCord. And Maxine has the same traits, basically. She has absent-minded, she has evil, hates the outdoors, insane, and over-emotional. That's her only difference. Okay, the next one is Clarissa Sutton, And Clarissa, she'll pop up here in a
Password.
second. Okay, Clarissa, her only different trait is, of course, to be mean-spirited. So I gave everybody the evil trait, which is something you don't have to do, but I figured it'd make it more fun because they'll be mean to each other. So she's actually going to be really
No,
mean because she is
Kusha.
definitely mean-spirited. Jeannie Pittman is our next person. Jeannie, her only unique trait would be, of course, childish, which you gotta love that one. Okay, of course you can see they all have the same Emperor of Evil lifetime wish, which we're not going to be working on there, so it doesn't
Oh,
really matter.
Zadurpa.
All right, this guy always pops up in my creative sim for some reason. His trait is, I believe, he's the only kleptomaniac. You can choose one out of your entire 8 sims to be kleptomaniac. His name is Sylvester Irwin, and so you can have one kleptomaniac and you can have one mooch. So, but they can't be the same person. You can also have nobody that has the brave, disciplined, or natural cook trait. So those are off limits. Okay, Deshaun Leva, he is our next person, and Deshaun, you'll see him popping up in just a second.
So.
His only unique trait is, of course, he's the mooch. So I wanted to give him the 2 boys there. I went ahead and made it very conscious. I wanted 4 boys and 4 girls. Not that we're going to have anything as far as relationships or anything. I mean, they could. I can't control them. I'm going to skip over this guy. I'll come back to him in a minute. Okay,
We let
this one
go.
right here, this is Nelson Ziegler. And Nelson, he has the same traits. His unique trait is neurotic. So I like that one. Of course, they all have the same Emperor of Evil lifetime wish. Or they should. I hope I locked it in for everybody. I think I did. Let me just check this guy because I don't think I did with him.
We know.
I probably did, and I'm just going back. Yeah, I did. All right, so that brings us to the only controllable sim that I have. This is our sim.
Go.
His name is Skylar Llandros, and he has a little bit different personality traits that you're allowed to do. You are only limited to, you have to use insane, and you also have to use loser as your 2 traits. That's all you got. For him, I gave him the athletic trait, I gave him handy, and I also gave him the savvy sculptor trait. When you get down to this point of the lifetime wish, you either have to have a dice or you have or die or you have to do something. I went to random.org and I just generated a number between 1 and 5, and of course these count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and whatever actually was up here when I created it, I had to choose whatever it was, whatever corresponded. Now if it would have been something that would have been involved, having babies or something like the family oriented, whatever, you have to roll again. But he actually landed on this descendant of Da Vinci, which means he's got to master the inventing, the painting, and the sculpting skills. So before we even start the game, I've got to go in and I've got to take out, I believe, one of my skill building activities so I can give him an inventing bench, which, yeah, I'm really excited about that. But we can go in and do it. I'll probably have to take out either the chess table or I'll take out the chemistry station. I don't know which one I want to take out. Probably the chess table. I'm just kind of thinking. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead, and that should be our entire household. He's got his lifetime wish. You'll notice that nobody's going to have to actually leave the asylum. So let me go ahead and lock them in. I am going to change the name and give it our last name. I used my own screen name just because I was trying to think of something. Nobody can have any relations, so they all have to be random strangers. And we are set to go. Let's go ahead and lock them in. Yes, I have not. I want to go ahead and continue. All right, I'll be back in just a second when we're ready to go into one more time to edit the town, or edit the asylum. Okay, the only thing I did is I took the chess table out, and since I took the chair out, I was able to bring in one more chair. And you can have one other nappable chair, so I brought in this lounge chair, which I believe came with Supernatural. So I put it right here where they can actually sit here and read a book, whatever they need to do. I did have to move the computer. I moved it down here, and it's fine. It makes sense here too, so it's okay. It's just a little office area. But upstairs, I had to put in the inventing bench, and I put it right here where kind of where the computer was. The reason I did it is because you know how quickly they catch fire, and I wanted them to have at least a decent shot and not dying. So I thought about putting it back out here, but somewhere in the other areas. The whole thing is all of the actual skill building activities have to be inside. They have to be enclosed. This one is the only one that's not truly inside, but it is just across the courtyard. But it is inside of a building, and it is enclosed, it's covered, so it's not like they would be upset. Once they got in, they'd be okay. They're just not going to go out in the backyard and go do anything. So that's the whole point. You really can't go out in the yard. So that's why you'll notice everything I have is actually in the house. Now I think I took out the, yeah, I took this out. This is still down here, and he can catch fire on this one, which kind of scares me because it has happened. But looking up here, I don't really have any room to put it. not up here on this floor, unless I wanted to actually swap this out and change out and give them a different bedroom. And I'm thinking about it, but it really is one of those things that I probably ought to do it, just because you know how quickly they are to get to catch fire. So let me just make sure there's not another place I can put the bed. Upstairs on the third floor, I could have somebody share a room. That wouldn't be too bad. But I don't know. I think there's nothing that says you can't move things around. So I think what we might do is we might just go ahead and actually, you know what? I could put it right there. Let's go downstairs and do that real quick, because I'm just scared to death to have it that far down. Because if you've ever played in this thing, you know how hard it is for them to get anywhere. I'm going to put it right there. I know that's kind of in the middle of everything, but that's kind of the whole point. I want him to be close enough. I want to give him a fighting chance, because I mean, you know, he still has to run up these stairs and get into the bathroom, and hopefully nobody will be blocking his way in. So there's nothing in the basement. We can put something in there later, but it's always got to be just decorative. So I figured that might be a good place to put any headstones that come up. So all right, let me go ahead and get the family ready, and I'll put them in the house in just a moment. Okay, I didn't even know why I had to click out. Okay, to get him into this house, what you have to do is you're going to have to go ahead and use your cheats, which I should have my cheats still on. And if you don't know this one, it's just free real estate. And once you put that cheat in, then anybody you choose, which this is our household right here, you can just go ahead and move them in and pop them into any place, no matter how much it costs. So we're going to go ahead and purchase this one real quick. They're in. It's just going to process for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and choose them as our household to get started. One of the things you have to do, now we can go ahead and get back to the game. Once you start up the game, you have to reduce their funds down to 100 simoleons, no more. So it's going to make it a big challenge, and the fact that we're the only one that can actually go out and get a job, it's going to be interesting. All right, let's go ahead and that's the family we want. That's the house we want. We are set to go. I want to make sure I do this, because I will forget if I don't just do it right off the bat. It's another cheat that you're going to need. All right, let me go ahead and let him get in there. Of course, we've got all of our stuff showing up. Oh, good, we're coming in on a rainstorm. Okay, let's go ahead and get our money down. If you don't know this cheat, it's just the family funds cheat. All right, family funds, Llandros, and we want 100 simoleons. Okay, we just lost all our money. Okay, we just lost over 30,000 simoleons. Now the only person we can click on is our guy right here. So Skylar, I want to make sure that he has, he's actually lost a day or two of his life. So that's unfortunate, but that's all we can do. I don't know if there's any rule that says you can roll him back in age, but that's okay. Once the game begins, I cannot click on any of these people. I can only click on my guy, and he's not going to go as a firefighter. That's not going to happen. So he's the only one that I can actually click on. The only time I can leave the lot is to get his job. I can leave the lot to go to the grocery store or go to the bookstore. That's it. So I can't really do anything else. I'm assuming that you could actually go to the consignment store if that is your job. So I think that's the only thing you might be able to do. I will have to double check and see, but I figure that that's kind of like something you have to do for a job. I would say that would be something, I don't know, but then again, maybe you just sell it through your inventory, which that may be what we do. So just because I don't want to mess up, let's go see where the weatherstone shows up, even though it doesn't matter because we're not actually playing with it. I always like to know where it is. Okay, so it's over here in this little park over here, which that's actually a good place for it. I'm surprised. Normally it comes up in the middle of town. All right, so we are ready to go with our family, and I'm going to go ahead and turn them on. Of course, like I said, I can't really do anything with anybody. They can all get inside. The house is actually unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my guy goes and does one thing. I need to clean up that one dish. So I want you to go ahead and you actually just put it away if it's still good. Uh-oh, somebody was liking our guy, maybe. Or maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. We got too many. But I think it's fun because, yeah, you've got a full house, but you're only allowed to click on the one. I can click on the others one time in the day at midnight and clear out their inventory of anything that they may have accumulated. Stuff like books and things like that, and I can put them back. But I can't sell things like the kleptomaniac. If he gets something from work, I can't really do anything with him. All right, tell you what we're going to do with you. Do you need to get a job? We can actually try. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a job. Let's find a profession because we're going to be staying at home. Okay. Let's see. And I do want to actually lock these once everybody gets in. I don't know how long it's going to take till everybody makes their way in. I didn't see. Let's see. Everybody inside yet? Kind of. I think so. Okay, we could be an architect? No. Ghost hunter, singer, magician, firefighter, stylist, daycare, investigator. That's really all you got. So there's nothing I can do there. So we'll have to actually have a skill in one of those actual, in one of those deals. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and lock it for everybody. So nobody's getting out. The only thing we can do is actually I need to lock it just for me because we'll have to come out and get the mail. So let's lock it for everybody but myself. That way nobody's getting out. We'll come out to check the mail eventually when we have to. Oh, it's already started. Okay, we need to actually learn a few skills. So before we get started, no, you're not going to go read. You want to actually go ahead and get started here with painting. Let's go ahead and, oh man. Go ahead and practice painting something large. Okay, the university guy's here. Well, that's okay. We don't really care. Nobody's going to university. We're going to actually just work with our guy. So for the most part, we just kind of have to ignore them and hope and pray that they don't kill us and they don't start fires. And you see they're going to be sneaking around and doing all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff all the way through the LP. But that's fine. It's going to make bad relationships all the way around. So mine, I guess, would be a haunted criminal asylum. So that was kind of on purpose. I did it because, you know, when you have evil Sims, they're going to be mean. They're going to do horrible things to each other. And I just figured it'd be kind of fun. Okay. Now, we could become a painter. We could. I kind of thought it'd be good if we just didn't have a job. We just kind of did like the Midnight Sun Challenge where we just have to use the skills that we can to make money and there's no way to actually do anything. And that's why I was glad that when he rolled that and he got that lifetime wish, I figured we don't have to have a job. This means that we don't ever have to leave the lot. So I think we're going to just steer clear of a job. That way there's no obligation. We can do what we got to do. Yeah, you could see that it's a challenge where you'd have to go and be somewhere at a certain time, but I don't know, I think it also can be just as much of a challenge when they're always stuck in the same place together. This is going to be dangerous right here, this fireplace, because I just get this strange feeling somebody's going to do something wrong, set it on fire, and the whole place is going to go. And the fact that I've got that place locked, actually, no, I don't have to have it locked because they hate the outdoors. They're not really going to go outside. They don't have anywhere to go. If they do go somewhere, they'll come back. I can't click on them. I can't do anything with them. So if they do leave, I just have to wait till they come back. And whatever happens to them, happens to them. There's a whole point system that you have to follow. So at the end of the LP, when he's actually finished his lifetime wish, we have to count up the points and see what he's done. Let's see, what does he want to learn now? He wants to learn sculpting, which I do want him to do that. You can take any opportunities that you get as long as it doesn't force you to leave your lot, which, you know, there's not that many opportunities that happen that way, so you're kind of stuck. I did choose this lot for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't want to have to build anything, and I thought it would actually work. I thought it was perfect for Moonlight Falls. But also, it's multiple stories, so when we're stuck here in the house the whole time, we have different places to go look, and I can see what they're doing. I can't click on them to find it, but I can see what they're all doing. Well, there's actually more good things happening than bad. I figured to see a lot of little red negative signs, but so far they're okay. My guy's not really associating with any of them, which is fine. Oh, there's romance happening here in this insane asylum, which is fine. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the newspaper. It's just one of those things that we're going to get, and I'm not going to have to worry about it. It's also good that I did that because that I unlocked the gate so they can go throw things away. The main thing I want him to do is at least learn these skills and just get a little head start on doing what he's got to do. He has to keep an eye on his needs, but the problem is when we get later on into the evening, only 5 of them are going to get a place to sleep. See, this is what scares me. You're going to have some idiot like this, and when we catch on fire, we can't sit around and wait for him to leave. So it's gonna be scary. So that's why I was not too happy that I actually got this one, but I think when I put Savvy Sculpture in, that's what made this pop up as an opportunity. So I could have changed it, but I thought, no, I already made that decision. We'll just keep it. Nelson's just an idiot over there sitting on the bathtub. All right, I'm going to speed you up and see if we can get this thing done. Let's see, what do you want to do? Learn the painting skill? You're doing it? No, we're not going to get any elixirs because I got rid of that thing. Um, okay, good. He got his painting skill. Let's see, what do you want to do? Join the painter career. We could. Oh, I guess we could. As long as we don't have to go anywhere. If we can just sell it, we can sell it from our inventory. But I figured an inmate wouldn't have a job. I mean, that's just kind of the whole point, is that you're put in this asylum, so you really wouldn't have anywhere to go. So that's why I'm thinking that nobody should be able to leave. So nobody should go get a job. You can, and it's not against the rules. The rules say that you can leave just for your job. But I also think this was made before Ambitions and updated before Ambitions, and they didn't have as many opportunities as they do now. So I think that's why they didn't allow you to do too many things. Well, she's sitting there. See, that's the problem. Yeah, it's going to be an issue because everybody's taking a seat really, really quickly. All right. Well, I can't worry about them. I just want my guy to actually do pretty well. And if he can master these skills, he can get out of here. And the whole point is you want to get out as quickly as you can, because every day you're in the asylum, you lose a point. And then every person who's in the asylum, if you lose anybody, if they die, you lose 20 points for that person. If you get a visitor that comes over and they happen to die on your lot, you lose 30 points. And so your whole goal is to try to have as many points at the end as you can and get out as quickly as you can. There's also points for every skill that you've got, every skill that you've learned, and for every skill that they've learned. So if they learn a whole bunch of different things, you get points for that too. So that's why you want to have different activities that they can actually do. And I don't know that they're ever going to actually go over to do these points, to do these things, which it's kind of going to hurt me because I don't think they're going to get anything. But they might learn cooking and they might learn athletic, because this is over here. I don't think they're going to learn any of the other stuff. They're not going to go over to the chemistry station, which do we still have it? Did I get rid of it? Oh yeah, I still got it. So I don't think they'll learn any of that stuff. But maybe with some of the books that they've read or that they've got, they might learn, because I know we've got the 3 skill books that come with your basics. So that's a possibility. All right. He's getting close to having this one done. I really am concerned because tomorrow the first bills are going to roll around, and you see this place, it's pretty big, and we're going to have a pretty decent bill coming in. It's going to be expensive. I have no idea where we're going to get enough money, because he doesn't have enough skills to make anything big. So it looks like we'll probably get at least one person come in, one repo man come in this week, maybe 2, just because I don't think we're going to have enough money right away. It doesn't take long, and then you can start making it. I don't think painting is going to do it that much for us, but sculpting will. So I'll get him down sculpting first thing tomorrow. I could have actually put this downstairs first and put the sculpting bench up here. Probably what I should have done, but I think once you've started the game, you really can't do anything. You can't change anything. I think you can move it around. I just don't think you can. You can't swap it out for something different. So if the repo man comes and takes one of our items, whatever it is, we can rebuy it, but we have to repurchase the exact same thing. It's not like we can say, oh, we didn't like that and we want to do something different. It would have to be the exact same thing that we repurchase. Let me speed him up and get him through this. Okay, well, there's a whole bunch of romance going on over here. My guy is actually getting kind of hungry. Everybody's leaving him alone, which is good. I'm just wanting him to get this thing done, which looks like he's just about there. All right, so that whole thing, which took pretty much the whole day, was worth $34. All right, but we got ourselves up to level 2 of painting. Okay, there's food here if you want to come grab some, and it's fine. So go ahead and grab a plate real quick. I'm so used to clicking on different people just to see what they need, and this is against everything that I normally do. So I like that, but then again, it's also frustrating because I'm tempted to go over and see what they're doing, but you can't. You've got to be very much, you got to be very, very strong on self-control, because you can't click on anybody. I'd like to see what's going on with them all. You can click on them at midnight just to clear out their inventory and see what they've got, but can't sell anything out of their inventory. You're just gonna have to deal with what they got. Okay, I'm gonna let him go upstairs in just a minute, and he's gonna get a shower, and he's gonna go to the bathroom. Man, I'm just flipping around here all crazy. Is this thing already dirty? No, it just looks dirty. All right, you're gonna go ahead and shower, use your bathroom. Let's see. Oh, you're not gonna clean up? Yeah, you're going to have to come down and clean up because otherwise that thing's going to be here. You might as well put away the leftovers. And I'm not going to actually use the automatic hand. He's going to have to do whatever he's going to have to do. And it looks like every time they break something, did you forget where you're going? Oh, yeah, he's absent. No, he's not absent-minded. The rest of them are. Oh, there's somebody in there. Okay. Come on out of here, Sylvester. I kind of know their names, but not really. I'll learn them eventually, but if he'll get out of here, we can actually use it. No, he's not going to go. Yeah, that's going to be fun having that thing in there. Go ahead and go, buddy. Get out of here. He's got to use the bathroom. Alright, looks like somebody's got the bed that I really wanted, but that's alright. Doesn't really matter to me. As long as we get one before it's too late. It's not really time to go to bed yet, but I don't know. Now, I was thinking about the whole concept of gifts, and there's nothing in the rule that says that you can't get gifts. You just can't sell them. So if he gets money, if he gets a cash gift, you could always look at that like it's a donation from somebody in the town. They're donating to the asylum. So I'm going to look at it that way. So if you guys want to send gifts to the Asylum Challenge, I am going to take them since I'm not doing it in the Midnight Sun. And I mean, this whole game is not about making the most money. So that's why that's not the big issue. So if you want to do that, if you want to send them gifts, I will take them here in this challenge. So I don't think I can go into the inventory. I think I could go in and delete them. Or we could just, lock them up in a storage room or something. We just have to use it that way. Oh yeah, with the fact that he's insane, he's going to wear whatever he wants to wear, which is kind of funny. What is she upset about that she can't get out? I don't know. Alright, these crazy people. Okay, we're actually not doing too bad. I ought to let him actually learn the sculpting skill since that's what he wants to do. Let's go and practice with clay. That's all he knows how to do. And of course, you can't hire maids, you can't hire butlers, you cannot hire Bonehilda, you can't do any of that stuff. You got to do it all on your own. I was going to put in a washer and dryer, and I think you can, but at this point, we couldn't do it. You'd have to do it before you actually start the game. At this point, if I wanted to get a washer and dryer, I'd actually have to buy it. So that's something you can do because it's not really a skill. It's more decorative, or doesn't really do anything for you as far as leveling up anything. So we could do that, and that would be something we could spend our money on. And it'd be kind of funny to see piles of clothes all over the place because they're just going to leave them there. They're not going to do it. And that's fine. Alright, so somebody got the logic skill, so I believe that's Deshaun. So at least we got a point there for him. And of course I won't do any of that until actually we get to the end, and then we'll go back and we'll check. Now if they start to die, I don't know how to go. I guess I would have to look at it every night and just kind of keep track of it. But it's very specific, saying that you can't do anything until midnight. I wonder if they're going to bed. Okay, they're insane. Yeah, I don't think they'll mess with us on all this stuff because they can't use it. But the fact of the matter is, he's going to have to learn these skills as quickly as he can so he can get out. He's the only one who's not evil, the only one who's not really a criminal. Yeah, I'm waiting for the fires to happen because they're going to. You can hear that crazy woman over there. That's what happens when you have somebody that's childish. So you can make all the food you want, but you won't have it after a while because it's going to be gone. Okay, it's about 9:30. It's not too bad. I don't really want him to go to bed yet. I want him to actually finish this up a little bit, but I do want him to go to bed and find a decent place before everybody else starts taking him. Alright, let me go ahead and go upstairs. Now that he's got that one skill, I'm going to have him... Woman, are you going to go take my bed? No. I'm going to go over here and sleep. Let's go ahead and get you up here to bed. Yeah, I can see that they're already on yellow, and I can't do anything about it. I just got to leave it exactly the way it is. Oh, she's going upstairs to bed too. Hurry up, because I can't block her. I can't do anything to lock that in as our bed. You just kind of have to... Oh, good. You got it. Oh, no, you didn't. She took your bed. All right, well, come over here and take this one. This is the whole point. Sometimes they'll take your bed, and oh, she's going to take your bed too, isn't she? Unless you get in there first. Go ahead. Oh, if you can get that bed, good deal. You got your bed, and I'm leaving this here until I actually need to. He's going to wear this every day to go to bed. All right. Well, I have no idea how long I've been going, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go until we get to midnight, and then what I'll show you is what we can do every night at midnight. Now, of course, it's not going to speed up because everybody else is still awake, but I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. And when it gets to midnight, this is something that you do every single night, and I'm just going to wait until we get there. And it doesn't have to be exactly midnight. Right now it's a little bit past. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. This is the only time you got to pause your game, and you can go in and you can look. And now you can kind of see what they're doing. He's not bad, but you just check his inventory. So he's got a book in here. I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put the book right back over here. And I'll do the same thing for all these other guys. Okay, she's already got a couple of books, and yeah, you can't sell them, but you can actually just put them back. And you want to do that because otherwise you're going to end up with a whole bunch of crazy stuff. What is this? Okay, man, they were just doing nothing but reading. If I'd have put skill books in here, but you can do that. You just got to go out and buy them all. But you can't get rid of any other books, and there's no guarantee that they're going to read the skill books that you buy. Okay, my guy doesn't have anything in his inventory. Man, she just picked up book after book. Of course, they are absent-minded, so they forget what they're doing. So, gotta love that. Okay, and I know I'm putting them all into the same bookcase, which is fine. Eventually, they'll probably all end up in one or two bookcases, but that's all right. Okay, that's all I can do. If you wanted to check their needs and whatnot, you can actually check to see what their skill points are at this point. So that way, if you wanted to keep a running tab, that way, like this guy, I know I'd get 1 point for him. He has nothing. She has nothing. Okay. Let's see, go through. Yeah, so the only person I have, of course, I've got 3 points for me, and I've got 1 point from Deshaun. So I got 4 points for this. Take away the 1 point for being in the asylum today, so I'm up to a 3. And then, of course, there's other things that you have to use, you have to account for on the whole scoring of it. But I'll just have to keep track of that, because if you lose one, if they die, I definitely want to know where we were at. So what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and end the episode here, and then that way when we come back, we will see what happens. At least we know our guy got a bed, so he'll have a decent night's sleep. Oh, one of the things I did make sure that I got one of the cheapest beds. I didn't want them to get the really nice, luxurious beds because it's an asylum. They're not going to have those really nice beds. There wasn't anything in the rules that said you had to do that, but that's just something I was going to do. Let me go ahead and turn it back on so while we're waiting, we can actually at least get some time going through. And of course, I think once he chooses a bed, it doesn't really matter because we haven't set bed ownership, and you're not allowed to do that. So they can all just go wherever they want to go. These girls are going to fight over this bed or something. I have no idea. But up here, okay, at least somebody has found their beds. These 3 have been taken. So 4 of the 5 beds are accounted for the night. So a couple of these guys are not going to be too happy, and we'll see what happens with them a little bit later. Oh yeah, they're getting mad. Getting a little upset with each other, and that's kind of what I figured. So you also get points taken away for, I think, if you call somebody onto your lot, like a fire department or something like that. At least I think you do. I'm not quite sure. So I have to go back and look at the stuff in the rules. Okay, downstairs, let's see. These guys are probably getting tired. I know somebody can actually at least take a nap in this one, and they may be able to take a nap here. Yeah, they can take a nap there. Oh, you know what? I got to get rid of that because you can only have 1 nappable piece of furniture. So let me stop real quick because I can't have 2. So we got to get rid of this one. I'm glad I checked that because that is against the rules. So only 1 piece of nappable furniture. And so now we just got this chair. I know that one will work. That one's fine. They can't nap in it. So, yep, you got to make sure you got to check what you're doing because otherwise it's really easy to make some mistakes. And if you do, if it's legitimate, just change it, just fix it. These right here, they look like they could sit on them, but they can't. They're just coffee tables that are lined up together, so they can't really do anything. It just, when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, they're gonna sit on that. No, they can't. See, I'm clicking on it. There's nothing you can do with it. Just watching these idiots is gonna be fun enough for me. I don't know. Just seeing what they do. So these 3 are gonna be up all night. One of them could at least go to bed because I think there is an open bed. Nope, all the beds are taken. Alright, so guys, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. When we come back, we'll see what's happening downstairs. Of course, I can't click on them, but we'll watch their needs change, and some of them are going to go in the red. And yeah, somebody already took that couch. These 2 are out of luck. It's going to be fun. I don't know what they're going to do, but they'll probably pass out on the floor, which is fine with me. All right, guys, go ahead and leave me comments. Let me know what you think. If you're interested in continuing the challenge, I'm going to be doing it. I'm hoping to get it done as quickly as possible because this one is something you're working on time. I'm going to go ahead and lock in whatever I can because he does want to. Oh, we don't want to join the career. We don't have. We're not going to do any of that. But anyway, if you've done the challenge before, let me know any tips or any hints that you've done before that made it better. But I think it looks pretty fun. I think it'll be something interesting to do. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.